Hello and welcome to the Other 14 FC podcast. I'm Alex, Crystal Palace fan.
And I'm Tom, a West Ham fan.
And this is your podcast for everything not top six. Tired of your team being last on match of the day, not getting the flowers they deserve. That's about change. Tom, what do we have for listeners this, is it week or is it 3 days later from last time we spoke?
They're going to be coming thick and fast over the Christmas period. We've got double delights for Rodgers, Woltemade, Calvert-Lewin and Lewis-Potter. And Alex might as well be a Brighton fan the way he was cheering for Leeds to beat Crystal Palace on Saturday night.
What
an embarrassment, mate. What an embarrassment.
What does that have
to do with
The way you
were celebrating Palace losing that badly.
I'm not celebrating Palace losing. I'm celebrating West Ham being 5 points adrift at the bottom, mate. That's what it is.
Yeah, the podcast is in the mud at the moment. We're riffing. How you doing though, man? How you been?
Yeah, all good. I finally think I've got over my illness, so I don't have to be hitting the cough button every 5 minutes, and I'm hoping listeners didn't hear too much of me coughing through the last few weeks. But yeah, apart from that, good. Up in Manchester at the moment, so with my missus' family, just enjoying that, and then getting ready to go down Christmas Eve back to my fam for Christmas. What about yourself? What have you been up to?
Not too much. Getting all prepared for Christmas as well. Heading off to Norfolk to see some family for a few days over Christmas. The Chicago Bears are in the playoffs, mate. I've forgotten about the team from East London causing me misery. I'm just fully thinking about my Bears.
Hey, I've seen you posting that on Instagram and everything, and I've just been like, I don't get it. I'll never get it. I'll wait for the Super Bowl and I'll do that night, but I don't get the rest of it.
Mate, there's been a sensational season for the Bears. Absolutely. I was up till 4 or 5 a.m. on Saturday night. It was worth every minute. It was last second touchdown. Unreal, magical stuff.
You sad bastard. But yeah, that does actually sound quite good. Cool. Okay, should we take a break and then get into the actual football?
Let's do it.
Okay, and we're back. So, Tom, we're going to start with City West Ham this week, yeah?
God, no. We don't even need to touch on that game. But we will touch on another team who have been in the relegation mire. Props, well done, Leeds. Absolutely battered some useless pricks.
Have you been thinking about this all since, Saturday or Sunday night? But I was just
giving you were bombarding me on Saturday night when I was enjoying my evening, and you were just delighting in how useless Crystal Palace were against Leeds, and how Leeds just absolutely battered you in every sense of the word.
If it makes you feel any better, I was also doing it to all my other West Ham mates as well, so don't feel like it was just you.
Palace fans, next time you see Alex at a game, give him a kick for me.
Oh mate, you gotta take the minor victories in it. This was bad all round. I mean, I think Leeds were the only team that really showed up to this game. I want to blame tiredness, but we did make wholesale changes midweek for the
none of them
game.
Played. Yeah, none of them played against Cups.
Well, a few of them came on for like 20 minutes, but it's not an excuse really. We just didn't look physical in the game. Leeds clearly wanted it a lot more, and Leeds have completely shut us. Well, not shut us up. I guess they have shut us up with that run they've gone on now. Picking up, basically 9 points at this point from those run of games.
That run of games that we were worried about, they've absolutely made a mockery of it. And this one was just they set out in the summer to buy big players, like they to improve like the strength and size of their team, and in this game particularly, it was absolutely clear as day. They won every physical battle. They were really targeting long balls into like throw-ins into the box and pouncing on the chaos, getting on that second ball, and just sort of being really, really physical in this game, and just bullied Palace off the ball so many times. I've got a issue an apology to Calvert-Lewin. I feel like I've been bashing him and he's been shutting me up week after week. Scored in his fifth game in a row.
Was it 6 and 5 now? It's absolutely mental. Yeah. I always thought he was good, but I didn't think he'd come good that for Leeds in this way, if I'm being brutally honest. But yeah, and I got a correction. It's 8 games from 8 points from those 4 games already. So they've absolutely shot up the table with it all. Like you say, they got us from every set piece, and the weird thing is I think we've been quite strong from set pieces throughout the year. It's not been the worries that we had under Roy, where it was like, oh, someone's got a corner, they're probably going to score. And it was like that West Ham game we went to years ago, wasn't it? Where did you score from 3 corners?
Yeah,
Those
the only
days,
positive of that game.
yeah, those days I thought were behind us, but it's not tiredness. I think the players are just maybe mentally checked out because there's mistakes in that game that I haven't really seen from Palace before. The Richards for the first goal, just not really clearing. He's
Shocking.
clearing across the
It's
box.
an assist. It's an
Yeah, it's an
assist.
assist.
He's just
Because then for the
knocked it on.
yeah, exactly. Because for the second goal, I can't remember who it is for Leeds, but they do the same thing across the box, and Calvert-Lewin's at the back post again. The clearance from Nketiah for the second goal is pretty unforgivable. Like,
Yeah, he wanted Leeds to have another long throw with that clearance because there's no excuse for that.
yeah, there really isn't. The third goal is Leeds being more aware and wanting it more. Basically, you see all the Palace defenders let the ball go through, seem to think someone else is going to get it, and then Amadou's the only person that reacts, gets it, and pokes it past Dean Henderson. Then, I mean, penalty on Uche. I think it probably is a penalty put away by Devaney, and then stacked with an absolute pearl of a free kick. But I also feel like at that point we've kind of thrown the towel in completely with that free kick. Do you agree, or do you think it's a good free kick? I feel like if it was a different team, I'd be saying the keeper shouldn't be beaten that easily because it's not like right in the corner, is it? It's kind of just in that section of the goal that the wall should maybe be covering. Maybe Sosa should get up better, but I think it's just a good free kick as well.
Yeah, I mean it's a lovely free kick, but I agree. I think Palace had given up the game by that point and were just kind of like, especially it was like the 11th minute of extra time, so they're just like, we know that this is probably the last kick of the game. Like 3-1 or 4-1 doesn't really matter at that point to Palace. Like obviously you don't want to concede, but the game was gone. It was going to be the last kick of the game pretty much, and my only note for Palace is that they were useless and to clear your fucking lines. Like they just time and time again were just like the nowhere near as good defensively as they have been since Glasner took over. Really, like I don't remember a game that they've performed this badly in.
Nah. Well, the thing was, I had tickets to it, but we had to go out for a family meal in Manchester instead, and I think that was probably lucky for me all round. Yeah.
A blessing in disguise.
I know, I've said it before though, like I feel like if you go to Ellen Road, especially under the lights, and you go 1-0 down, you're going to be in trouble. I think they're making that a real fortress this year. Well, in this Christmas period, they're making a fortress. You saw what happened with the Liverpool game when they got their one goal and then they got the second. It's just, I don't think it's going to be a comfortable place for, well, the rest of this period for any away team going there, and that's going to make you shiver a bit as a West Ham fan.
Yeah, man. I mean, well, they're not even the team right above us anymore. The run that they've put on in these last few games, there's a clear gap forming, and obviously I think West Ham have had a couple tough games against title challengers, but like Forest plays City next, so I think that we'll see what happens after when there's 4 games in the next 2 weeks, sort of thing. Like what happens? There's a lot of points to play for in the next 2 weeks. Things will definitely change by that point. But absolutely props to Leeds. They've really turned things around. They've looked so much stronger, and they've put their bodies on the line in a lot of these instances. Like they've become a lot more physical, but they just dominated in, like they were on the front foot in this one. I mean, since they've changed to a 5 at the back, which as a West Ham fan it's frustrating because we've tried 5 at the back and looked awful. The Palace obviously do it so well for the past couple years. And like since Leeds have done it, they've looked a completely different team than they did in the first first sort of 12, 13 games of the season.
It is crazy that you can turn it around that quickly, because how many times have we seen managers change to a 5 at the back and it go completely tits up for a team? Like, to change your system this far into the season, it is complete props to them, and they completely dominated us throughout that game. And yeah, you just got to hope that, well, if you're a Leeds fan, you just got to hope you got to keep it up now and see this form just moving into the new year rather than a flash in the pan, which I think maybe we're thinking Leeds and Burnley had a bit of flash in the pan getting those points at the beginning of the season. Do you agree?
That's what it looked like when Leeds were on that bad run before this good run. It looked like they started well and then like were struggling a bit. And yeah, as I say, since they've done the formation change, they've looked good. Burnley picked up a point on the weekend as well. I wouldn't say they're completely out of it either. Like But I think, Leeds have shown that they've got a lot more steel to them than what was looking like for several weeks before it.
100%. The thing is, like, how many points do you think a team's going to need to stay up this season? Because it looks like it might be quite a high threshold this year. Because if Leeds are on 19 already, usually what you'd expect in 30, 34 points would probably keep you up.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to tell at this point, but you would say if it depends, because if West Ham can't get their act right, then it might be that there's a comfortable gap between 17th and 18th.
Yeah, the way West Ham
there is right now.
Probably only need 15 points to stay up the way West Ham are going at the moment.
Well, relegation is over. Yeah, for sure.
Well, okay, yeah, but all I can say is prop to Leeds. I know we said Palace had a dreadful game, but I mean, they were dreadful because Leeds made them look dreadful as well. Like, they wanted it loads more. You could see it like in every challenge pretty much throughout the game. So yeah, good on Leeds. I hope you're happy with yourselves. Where do you want to move on to next?
We should go to the game that I was going to start with, but I thought I had to take the piss out of Palace a little bit to make me feel better. Title challengers, Aston Villa, the Morgan Rogers show.
It really was. I watched this game in a local pub with Steph's family, who are United fans, and I was just there taking the piss the whole time, being like, "You're not that good, are you?" But the thing was, I think United were actually quite good in the first half. Like, they were worryingly good in the first half, but Villa managed to keep them at bay for most of it, and they got a lovely, lovely Morgan Rogers goal from an insane part of the pitch. How he's taken that ball down made Euro look stupid, and then curl it into the right corner. It's absolutely Morgan Rogers at his shit hot best.
Yeah, it is excellent from Morgan Rogers. Peach perfect hit. You can't hit them sweeter than that first one, especially because it's completely out of the keeper's reach and everything. The defending is shocking. It's just they've just ushered him into the aisle that Morgan Rogers wants to be on. Morgan Rogers is very, very right-footed. Show him down. You have to show him down the line. If you give Morgan Rogers that space to cut in, he's gonna do this to you. He's a man in red hot form as well.
They kept giving him. I noticed even before the goals, they kept giving him that space just outside the box on the left-hand side, and it was just if you're going to keep doing this, he's going to finally unlock you and get a goal some way, because we've seen him do it 100 times before.
Oh yeah, and it was every highlight was Rogers was at the heart of it. Rogers passes it. Rogers takes a shot. He had one early, almost had a very cheeky back heel sort of attempt that came through the box in the first half. Yes, I think United were probably slightly the better team in the first half, but then I do also think that overall Villa kind of restricted them to mostly long range sort of pot shots, and I back Emi Martinez in those sort of situations. How good of a shot stopper he is. If you're forcing a team to shoot from outside the box, Martinez has usually got it covered unless it's an absolute worldie.
Yeah, I think there was one time that he was called into close quarters and he shot the ball down quite well to, I think it might have been at Sesko. But yeah, I mean, the only way Villa did get unlocked was by some dawdling on the ball from Matty Cash just before half time, putting it straight into Cunha's path to finish quite well, but past Martinez. And at that point, you're thinking, is it probably deserved to be 1-1? I guess it probably was fair going into the half time.
Yeah, I think that was fair going into half time. I mean, they've with that goal, they've played their way into trouble again, similar to the West Ham game last week, right at the start of the game when Fernandes scored. They played their way into trouble there. Obviously, Matty Cash has had a good season, mainly sort of on the going forward sense of things, but there seems to be something with him and Konsa who don't seem to be comfortable right now, because both of those goals, the Cunha one and Mateus Fernandes last week, have come from Aston Villa overplaying in that right back, right centre back position. And I know they've got Victor Lindelof rolling back the years, playing at left centre back because of injuries and stuff. So there are defensive issues, but they are just, and they do want to play out from the back, but they're kind of just playing themselves into trouble at the moment at times.
It may be a rogue statement, but I don't think Martinez is built for playing out from the back either. That might be completely wrong, but I just feel like he doesn't seem safe on the ball when he's doing it. When your keeper doesn't seem safe to start it.
Well, no, he had that assist for Mo Salah early in the season, didn't he?
Exactly.
Like he's never been a keeper to have played out from the back. And
I think if your keeper can't do it, then he's going to keep giving your defence the ball in like awkward situations, or he's not going to be showing at the right time for the defenders to get themselves out of that mess. I get it's what they want to do, and they do a break in the press on United quite a few times, in all honesty, but is it worth the gamble when it's going to end up like that? To be fair, there was a lot where they were just giving the defender the ball and they realised we're not going to get past this press and they're just hoofing it long. A couple going straight out as well, but I mean, can't really complain, can they? Because it's working for them. That's 10 wins in a row with, Morgan Rogers getting a second goal in this again from not a lucky deflection or just doing well to dispossess them and curl it past the keeper again.
Yeah. I probably think the keeper might have done better on this one. He got fingertips to it, but it is a very good one. It's kind of just like a budget version of the first one. Like it's not hit as cleanly, it's not as far in the corner sort of thing, but it's slightly closer in. So it's a bit like it's not as nice as the first one, but it's still a good attempt. And yeah, back-to-back weeks with a brace of goals for Morgan Rogers. He's putting it together just when Villa need him to as well, with like Watkins in and out of form. He's not really hit the heights. Like he's
doing a lot though. Like he's doing stuff in that number 10 role. Like he is winning the ball. He's causing trouble for defenders. I just don't think he's getting a goal rewards that he
still looks like Ollie Watkins. Like he's still doing the rest of the game. He's just not got the goals that we're used to seeing from him. But like in this again, I don't think Villa played great in this one, but they did what they had to do, and it was probably like quite an even game. And like as I said last week, put away bad teams, title contenders, like just win these games, like no matter sort of the performance, etc., just win the game, like, and move on to the next week. Like the games are about to come really thick and fast. Like they're gonna have like it's results like these that make you a title contender.
Yeah, it is crazy, isn't it? Do you see Emery on the sidelines as well with the second goal, whipping his coat off, throwing it in the air? I loved watching it, to be fair. Like I don't know if he's always got my nerves a little bit. I've probably more because of his Arsenal time. But he was doing that, I was like, yeah, that's some big boss energy right there. I really like that.
He's feeling himself.
Mate, that's literally all it was, wasn't it? It's literally like a WWE like character, like being like, yeah, we got this. I'm the big man. It was brilliant. To be fair, I was like 5-7 beers down by that time, so I was lapping it all in watching United fans being upset. Oh man, but yeah, like you say, Villa contenders, and they got Arsenal coming up again in the next couple of games. If they could do them at the Emirates, that would be hilarious, wouldn't it?
That'd be unreal. And they've got Chelsea next, so they've got some tough fixtures over the Christmas period. But you know, if they can keep this run going, then they'll be looking really, really good in January.
Like I said, 10 wins in a row, like that, you don't do that easily. Like it may be across all competitions and everything, but still do not do that easily. So yeah, Villa are absolutely flying at the moment. Anything else you want to touch from that game? I think I've got everything that I had.
Yeah, no, all good. Let's move on to a very, very entertaining game. This one,
really entertaining.
Newcastle 2, Chelsea 2.
Yeah, really entertaining, especially for early kickoff where you don't really expect them to like simmer up as much as most games. But this seemed just like end to end, like throughout the whole game. It seemed like both teams really wanted it, but also we saw kind of the issues we've seen from Newcastle all season, really, where we thought maybe they'd kicked on, but they're still conceding quite sloppy goals, if I'm being honest. Let's start at the beginning, I guess. I mean, Woltemade makes up for his own goal in a derby. We have 2 goals in 20 minutes, both very much typical him type of goals, would you say?
Yeah. Newcastle were absolutely dominant for the first 30 minutes of this game. It was complete one-way traffic. Woltemade gets a really early goal to make up for last week. I don't think Newcastle fans held it against him at all, but you know, it's nice to get him back on side straight away. And yeah, and they just sort of smashed it home after it fell to him in the box. And then the second one is just a really nice, delicate touch. He should have had a third to make it 3-0. I was really surprised that he didn't.
I thought the third one was the easiest out of all of them as well. Is that a bit harsh?
Well, I don't think it's the easiest out of all of them. I think the first one is probably the easiest because like the players are like sliding on the floor and like the keeper can't get back into position, sort of thing. So and he's so close that he just has to smash it in. The second one is probably the third one is probably slightly easier than the second one, maybe.
Yeah, because the second one's like a really depth touch to put past the keeper. The first
Really
one,
delicate.
the first one, Anthony Gordon doing that weird like shot flying kick thing, like to just get the ricochet off the kick. That I thought you'd have something to say on that, in all honesty, because he's like just sideways in the air for a bit, ain't he?
Yeah, but they were like, "Oh, is that a foul on Garnacho on Gusto?" And it was like, "Nah, it's never a foul."
Nah,
So
no
to
chance.
be fair, Gordon did his like it was like the best version of Gordon for the first sort of 30 minutes of this game, like
Yeah,
just running at people and just causing sort of chaos. Like I still don't think he had that great sort of like end product, and he was a little bit wasteful at times, but gets the cross in for the second one, so props to him for that. And then yeah, I think like because the third one that Woltemade should have had in, I think like by that point Chelsea had sort of slightly come into the game towards the end of the half, and that one would have been a complete dagger to Chelsea. I think like I don't think that there's I don't think they're coming back to 3-3, and but because that didn't, it sort of galvanised Chelsea a little bit, and then they just kind of Newcastle just struggled in the second half. They couldn't get a grip on the game really.
yeah. I think my notes just like what? How did they let this slip? Because when I was watching it, I was like, "Oh, Newcastle probably got this." I think Chelsea did have bits here and there, but nothing major. The Reece James free kick really, I think. Are you going to throw shade on Ramsdale for this? And do you think if that gets saved, this game doesn't end 2-2?
No, I blame the wall for this one. I think
The what?
Bruno Guimaraes doesn't jump, and it goes
Yeah,
straight over his part of the wall. And like I don't blame the keeper for that. Like that, if it's going straight over the wall, like you need your wall to be stronger in that instance. And yeah, Guimaraes doesn't even jump for it, so it's a good free kick. Like fair play
even when it's
to
that far
James,
out,
but
though. You got nothing against the keeper when it's that far out because I saw him line up for the free kick. I was like, surely not. Maybe it's just the camera angle at St James's Park makes it look a lot further away than it was, but it
it's
does seem
quite
quite.
pacey though. Like it's quite
Yeah,
the ball's hit with enough pace on it that I don't think Ramsdale's really got much of a chance to get over. And you know, like Ramsdale's not the tallest keeper, so like he's going to have to
yeah.
get over quick if he's going to make it. And if that ball has enough pace on it, which I think it did, like I don't think there was much of a chance for him to get on that.
No, that's fair enough. What do you make about the Chalobah penalty and exclamation marks on Gordon? I'm not thinking it's a pen because he's just gone shoulder to shoulder. I know it's a big shoulder to shoulder, but it is technically
Oh,
a shoulder to shoulder.
I think it's
Do
Stonewall
you?
penalty. Yeah,
No.
I understand why it's not given because it's shoulder to shoulder, and like yes, I do like to see the physical side of the game, but you've got to make an attempt to get the ball. You can't just rush like because I think Gordon has control of the ball. Like I don't think the ball is already off the pitch, or I don't think like he's not going to be able to get there. Like he's 3-4 yards away. I think Gordon could wrap a foot around it and keep that ball in and get it in the box if he's not absolutely just wiped out by Chalobah, who makes zero attempt to even put a foot in for the ball. He's just going, I'm gonna like bash Gordon off here.
Mate, you're getting soft. It's contact sport. Man up.
It's a contact sport, and I know you've got a soft spot for Chalobah after he spent 5 seconds on loan at
Do you know what?
Palace, but
Do you know
like
what? I
it's
don't
a
really
penalty.
I don't really. Chalobah's not been one of those ones where it's been like the loan and he's gone and it's like, oh, we all like love him. Like if we played him against Chelsea again, he was a bit of a dick. I'd probably be like, fuck you. Do you know what I mean? I just,
Fair enough.
I
But
don't
it's a
think.
penalty. I don't
No.
understand. Like, I honestly, I was shocked. Well, I wasn't shocked that it wasn't given because I was like, often they don't give those, but I thought that was
Well,
pretty
this is
it
the
was
thing.
too strong.
I'll always compare it to like if that happened against my team, would I be angry? And if that happened against my team, I wouldn't be
You'd be
angry. I'd be like,
fuming.
I wouldn't. Mate,
Don't
I wouldn't
bullshit,
be.
man. You would be fuming if
I've been broken.
if someone came across the box and did that to Saar. You would be calling like for an arrest. You would
Mate,
be
I've
like, get
been
him off, like
broken by
ban him for
VAR.
10 years.
I've been broken by VAR and refereeing decisions
Like,
long enough to know when I'm going to get something, when I'm not going to get something. At the ground, yeah, I'd probably go mental. And I would see it back and be like, yeah, fair enough. That shoulder to shoulder, I reckon.
no, it's just absolutely bodied him. Like he's made no attempt to get the ball.
Mate, it's a contact sport. What am I going to, what more do I need? But no, yeah. Then moving on to the Pedro go. In my notes, I've got he maybe a Brighton prick, but fair enough. That's how he scored from that position is pretty impressive.
Well, I
Do
mean,
you think
Tuor's got himself in
defending's?
a tangle. Yeah.
Yeah,
Tuor's got himself all mixed up, and he tried to like head it so that he can then clear it. I think and maybe he's been slightly nudged off the ball, so he can't just head it out. You're not in a position to like keep control of the ball. That there's a player right in front of you on your lap. Like you need to just get rid of that ball.
yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, he's done well to finish it from there, though. Still, would you not agree? Like to be able to
Yeah. So
put the
I
man
mean,
away.
Pedro does what he needs to do, races through, and absolutely gives Ramsdale kind of no chance.
Yeah, it's it's not great from trying, is it? Like at all. But then they still have chances to win at Newcastle, and don't they? Harvey Barnes basically had two chances, didn't he? Where he should have been probably putting the game away.
Well, yeah, Eddie Howe makes a triple change of all three of his front three. So Gordon, Woltemade, and Murphy go off for Elanga, Visser, and Barnes. But I think he makes it about 10 minutes too late. Like he makes it on around 70 minutes. From about 60 minutes, I'm going. Most of the Gordon and Murphy especially were absolutely done for. Like they were just not able to keep going until the 70th minute. Like throughout, you could see it in the second half. Like that's what was the big difference. They put so much energy into those first 30 minutes. By like 50, 60 minutes, they were really, really struggling to keep up that intensity at all.
They were just shagged, weren't they?
Yeah, so Eddie Howe makes that triple change. I think it's about 10 minutes too late. But then yeah, you're right. Barnes has almost three chances. The third one doesn't come to him. The first one he has to shoot for. I feel like he has to shoot first time. I feel like the touch allows James to come in and put him off enough that it's a save for the keeper. But like if he shoots, if it just as it comes through, if he just wraps his foot around it, maybe he misses. But at least it catches both the keeper off guard and doesn't allow James to come in.
Yeah, the fact James gets there in time, when watching in real time, I was like, oh, that's a clear pen there. But then when you see he gets the ball, it's actually a brilliant, like, last-ditch tackle for him, so fair enough. Then he has the volley, which is probably the one that he should be scoring, or am I being a bit... I mean, I couldn't do it, so I don't know why I'm being harsh on him. But...
Yeah, I think it's a really, really difficult chance, but the fact that he connects on it so well and it gets so close that it's like, all right, you actually like at this level you should probably be scoring that. Like, and I feel like he probably feels like he should have scored it, but I do think it's a difficult one because it's come at him at a really difficult height as well. Like, it's not like somewhere where he can just swipe his foot on the floor. Like it's like kind of mid-body range, so it's not. I don't think it's an easy chance, but yeah, like you would hope that he'd be back putting that away, and then there was a red card shout against James on Barnes, where he's like kind of through on goal, and Barnes James slightly tugs him back, but I don't think it's enough for a red card.
See, I'll disagree with you on this one. If I was leaving the game and I saw this, I'd be raging because I think there's enough in it where you see pulls his arm to. Yeah, I think. If you're Harvey Barnes, maybe you're making a bigger deal out of it, just being like that needs to get VAR properly. I think it's too much of a pull in that situation. No?
No, I don't think there's enough of a pull. And I don't think he really has control over the ball. Like, I think Sanchez is quite close to like receiving the ball, so I don't think it's like he had firm control of the ball for it to be a denial of a goal scoring opportunity.
Yeah, okay, I can probably agree on the keeper getting the ball. But I think the pull itself, I'd be pretty angry if that happened to us. Like if Saul was running through and then like you say, I'd be shouting my head off. But yeah, do you think it's a bit of a damn?
Then there's one more chance that they didn't show in the highlights for some reason, but I was watching it live. Like Elanga runs through and he decides to take the shot himself, but he has Visser and Barnes like just arriving in the box with no defenders around them, and he just really, really needs to square it. Maybe they don't score because Sanchez is still there to make the save, but Elanga has to pass. Like, I feel like he's gone, oh, this is my moment. I can like finally arrive at Newcastle because it's not been a great.
Just about to say that, like, yeah, you're right. His moment, he needs to make something after the injuries and after like being out of the team. You're right. It does feel like he's going to be quite greedy with any opportunity he gets, but I mean, he's got enough games now coming up to hopefully stamp himself down in it. But I think my prediction of him being up there this season as one of the standout players was probably quite wrong.
It's all right. We've all made a lot of bad predictions. The only other thing I would say about this game is that Lewis Miley did really well. I think he had a fairly easy task playing against Garnacho because that guy is useless. But fair play to Miley as a makeshift right back. I think he played there in the cup game as well last week before this one. But like doing a job there because Newcastle do have some issues with with injuries at the back. Obviously, Livramento didn't have Trippier and that, so yeah, Miley's had to do a job, and I think he did pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Garnacho, don't you feel like he's very much a West Ham player next season? Got that feeling?
Oh God, no! God, no! If that man turns up at West, like that man is useless. I do not want that little.
He's got boy, West Ham in the Championship written all over him.
Oh, it's just so horrible to look at. Like the worst tattoos, just the skull-like face. He's just like, oh no, he's an awful demeanor and stuff, like absolute awful baller.
Love it. Well, do you think that's a bit of a damaging result for Newcastle after being 2-0 up?
I don't think so. I mean, I look at the table and they're 11th. Like they're in that mix of 10 teams who are just going up and down. Like I think they'll still be looking up. Like I think it's a good Chelsea. Like I don't think Chelsea were that good on the day, but they're still a damaging team. Like they are still they're fourth in the table sort of thing. So they can still they showed in this game they had moments and they can still get good results. Yeah, you'd like to have bounced back, and I think they did at times deserve the win. But if you're going to concede 2 goals, you're not going to win a lot of games. So hopefully they get some injuries clear up on the defensive side of things. But I still think they're looking up, and they're mid-table at the moment, Newcastle. So they're in with a shout of a European spot.
Mid-table through to the League Cup semi-finals. I mean, if they beat United on Boxing Day, they'll shoot right up the table, won't they? So, I mean, they've all turned it around. That cluster of teams on 22 to 23 points is worrying for me as a Palace fan now, because it's like, we had a bit of a buffer at one point and it's completely gone, and we're just going to be sitting in 12th in the new year in our rightful position that we belong in. So, yeah, looking forward to that one coming around. Cool. What game do you want to move on to next?
Let's go back to a win for the other 14. So we got Wolves 0, Brentford 2, and I really just want to talk about Keane Lewis-Potter, to be honest.
It was a bit unreal in this game, wasn't he? To say the least.
Yeah, he was excellent. He started as a right winger in this one. He's played all over the park for Brentford in the past, mainly sort of a left wing back. But with Utara at AFCON for Burkina Faso, Lewis-Potter gets the start at right wing, and he was just excellent. He was at the heart of everything for Brentford, crosses, shots. He obviously gets both goals, and he was just really, really lively. His name was just jumping off the commentary for everything, throughout Brentford's attacks. And both goals are quite nice finishes. He just pounces on space in the box, little sort of half volley-ish kind of finish. And yeah, just really wanted to shout Keane Lewis-Potter out. Really good performance.
Mate, he's one of those players that I feel has something there, but he just doesn't show it enough in games. There's been games against Palace where he's turned up and he's been bossing the show, but then it's just a bit like he's had other games where he's been an invisible man in their team. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you've seen that when you've gone Brentford West Ham as well. I feel like there's so much potential he's got, but he's not really lived up to it every now and then. But then you see it in this game where he's absolutely flying.
Yeah, well, I wonder if the fact that he's been played all over the park, and not in his, he's not had, I don't feel like he ever gets a run as a winger, which he was signed to be from Hull. That's where he played when he was doing bits in the Championship. That's what and then he's kind of gone to Brentford. They've obviously had players like Mbeumo, Schade, and that they can play in those positions who are generally injury-free sort of thing. So Lewis-Potter's had to kind of make a life as a wing-back at times, and he's not going to, he's done an excellent job as a wing-back, I think, over the last couple of years, but, this is what they signed him to be. This is what they, Lewis-Potter wants to be, as a playmaking, forward. So I think it'd be really interesting to see with Utara at AFCON if Lewis-Potter gets the run during this winter period of starting in one of those positions, and see what he can make of it, because he's got off to a blistering start.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if we go in and look into the game, first half there's a tip over the crossbar from Kelleher, which I mean, it's probably the only notable thing in the first half.
Yeah, I mean left wing back Wolfer had a couple of low quality chances. I feel like for Wolves, like he did like they were attempts, but you would expect Keller to sort of sort them out. Like they weren't really great chances.
Yeah, then, I mean, let's just move into the second half. There's a big double save. Well, not double save. There's big saves from Sarr from a Sharda header and Sharda shot, which basically seem to be set up in legit the same way. You'd almost think it's like a training session, isn't it? Where it's like, yeah, put the ball in from the far right and then get your head on it or get a volley on it. And both of them kind of just straight at the keeper.
Yeah. I mean, Brentford had tactics in this game, and they stuck to them. They were like, "Yeah, we know this will probably work. Let's keep trying this."
Yeah, and then Lewis-Potter opens the scoring with. It feels bad to shit on Wolves, but it was pretty awful defending. Really, you can't be letting it bounce in that area and then not be alert to the danger of him coming in.
Yeah. It's poor defending from Wolves, unfortunate, but like that's we've come to expect, and Lewis-Potter is there to pounce on it.
It's really that is pouncing on it completely. Then it's on stretch for the second one. Just too many Brentford players in the box, completely free. It seems you got to wonder what Wolves need to be doing if there's anything left in the season, really, because they've given Brentford their second away win of the season. And we've said like throughout Brentford are really cold away from home. So if you're going to Wolves and beating them, let's be honest, very comfortably, it's just what are you going to do? And then as a Wolves fan, you probably don't want to be seeing a pen being saved in that manner from Strand Larsen. I know we've raved about Strand Larsen for almost all of the end of last season about how good he was, but I think he's let the side down there with just not having a convincing penalty to give the Wolves fans some sort of hope.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like a man completely shot of confidence right now, and there's also rumours that he wants out, which rubbed me up the wrong way a little bit, because I'm like, well, you're a part of this mess. Like, we shouldn't be hearing about you wanting out. You should be fighting tooth and nail to keep Wolves in the league. And like, this penalty did not look like a man who wanted that. Like, as I say, he looks short of confidence, but like, that is just such a weak penalty in a moment that could have, there's enough time in the clock. It could have galvanised Wolves to try and like push and get something. I thought young Mateus Mane was impressive again after.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on that because that was going to be my next point. Was like, do Wolves maybe look more to be playing the kids now in these situations, that the young players have a bit of Premier League experience, or is that a bit too dangerous doing in the Premier League and maybe throwing them under the bus? There's more defeats, but I mean, if you're on 2 points and you're losing every game anyway, you might as well look towards next season, look towards giving some young players academy players maybe Premier League minutes, so when they're in the Championship next year, they've got a bit of like physicality and they've got like more speed in them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. It really just reminds me of last season with Leicester City and playing Jeremy Monga, who was 15 turning 16 at the time, and like he's made sort of 11 appearances in the Championship for them this season. He had 7 towards the end of last season when Leicester knew that they weren't likely to survive and were like, right, let's bleed this youngster who we think is really, really talented. And I see that same imprint in Mateus Mane. Like, I think that we'll see that same blueprint followed by Wolves once like they're giving him these sort of bench appearances at the moment, and he's looking better than some of the starters who are on decent money. And that, like, you have to give if the kids are good enough, then play them, in my opinion. Yeah. Like, there's no reason not to, and Mane is showing that he is good enough for this level, at least in small amounts so far. But yeah, keen to see more of him.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, do you think Brentford really had to get out of second gear to win this game?
No, not really. I think this was, as you said it, this was comfortable for Brentford. Like, it was like maybe a get right game for their away form. Like, they might think now, like, all right, cool, we've sort of got that monkey off our back kind of thing. Like, we can maybe start to put some away performances together and stuff. But yeah, it's just at the moment it just feels like playing Wolves is kind of the best thing, like the most get right game you can have in the league. Like, if you just need 3 points, just play Wolves in it. Like,
that's it, isn't it? I was talking to my Brentford fan at work yesterday as well, and he's a bit annoyed with this season, and I did say to him, like, what, you're got 23 points. You got your new manager who's not got any experience pretty much apart from a coaching position, and you're only 3 points off a European place. Like, it's not all doom and gloom, I don't think, for Brentford fans, but I think they're not liking maybe not liking, they're just not enjoying the tactics that Keith Andrews is putting out, like going out of the cup as well in the manner that they did. It's something where I think they're maybe on the cusp of a good season. It's just a run of results for them, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they played the most attractive football. I don't think they've ever consistently played like very attractive football. I've always viewed Brentford as more of like the deniers, like they game plan for specific teams, and they sort of like their first tactic is to disrupt what the other team want to do, and then find what the other team don't do well and target those kind of things. So they're really flexible in those ways, but they're quite often that's not going to lead to possession, silky football, etc. It's going to like lead to popping the ball over the top or like being defensively really solid and stuff. So I generally just see more of that, and I think it's probably one of those that like I think some people were tipping Brentford to go down this season because of the rookie manager and the changes that they had up front and stuff. And I think it's just almost like a reset season for them, where like where they are right now, they should be very happy with. And then like I don't think they're going to be pulled into any trouble. I think they're going to be sort of in that 10th to 15th range, like pretty much until the end of the season, and then look to build on that from next season. Like, right, we settled down after the summer of change this last summer. Let's build on what we've got now as a platform and with a season under Keith Andrews, and then start to look up. But sometimes you just need those like reset seasons, especially when you have so much change.
Yeah, and I mean, they're still above the Thomas Franks Spurs anyway, so they can take that to the bank as a great laugh all day long. Cool. Okay, should we move on to Fulham Forest 1-0? My notes for this is the most 0-0 game that ended 1-0 that I've watched in a long time.
Yeah, this was this one felt like what it was. Like there wasn't much between the two teams. It was kind of just like a penalty was how this game was going to be won. Like I thought Forest started pretty brightly, but I just don't feel like over the match they tested Leno enough. Like whenever they did get a chance, it was kind of just like scuffed shots or straight down Leno's throat, like in long shots in the second half. Fulham point of view, I think they created slightly better chances, but again weren't particularly clean cut with their shooting. And yeah, I think it's a clear penalty from Louise on Kevin.
Jeez, mate, well, leave me something to talk about this awful game. I've got nothing else, literally everything from my notes. I mean, I've got the Milenko...
5 minutes talking about Anderson's broken finger if you want, because that was gnarly.
Milenko's diving header / penalty dive, that's caused the scuffle. That's the only other thing I had to say about this game.
I mean, nothing else happened in this game. Like Jimenez, calm penalty. It was just like it was a very subdued Monday night game. Like it was just kind of like, all right, these were two fairly evenly matched teams. They kind of didn't create much in either, and it was like just kind of going through the motions. And then yeah, there was like not even really anything sort of controversial. Like yeah, it was just
scuffle was the only controversial thing.
Yeah, good win for Fulham. Like just one of those like tidy, like right, nothing upsetting, no issues. Just collect the 3 points and move on. Like,
yeah, I think it's interesting. Douglas Luiz was one to give away the penalty, because I remember we had Hugo on at the beginning of the season saying he'd be a great person for them to sign to get in to like help boss their midfield, and when he's the one giving I'm giving Fulham the points. It's pretty funny all around. But yeah, I think is this just a fatigue of football for the players and everyone, where it's just like, let's get this game over, move on to the next one, like you say?
Well, we said it last week, I think, and the pattern is happening. Let's see what are this Forest team at the moment. They are just beating the top 6 teams and losing to the other 14. They've got City next, so they're probably going to win that game. But they in their last 5 they've beat. They lost to Fulham in this one, beat Tottenham, lost to Everton, beat Wolves. Okay, lost to Brighton. I think before that was the Liverpool win sort of thing. So like they're just so topsy turvy at the moment. Like you would think if they could get a couple more results against some of the strugglers, then they'd they'd be above Leeds. They'd be in that sort of mix of the teams above them.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's maybe the style. Forest are winning and losing, and they're either battering a team or getting battered themselves. I guess maybe not this game as much because nothing really fucking happened. But,
yeah, we've already spent way too long on this game.
Too long. Well, just think, listeners, we have 4 more games after that one, so it might be worth getting off the podcast now and go listen to something else because we do not have a lot to pick out. Cool. Bournemouth 1, Burnley 1. Burnley stopped the rot. I mean, maybe this one should have been above our last game, but it's a good result for Burnley, I think, and a pretty bad result for Bournemouth, who are doing a bit of a slide, really, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, I know that group of teams is still in the mix. Like, a couple of results could change everything for Bournemouth, but it is crazy to see them down in 15th right now when they were like second before this sort of run of poor results, like 3 draws in their last, like defeats before that. It's not been a good time for Bournemouth, but fair play to Burnley for stopping the rot. Like they desperately needed a positive result to try and change things around, and let's see if that gives them the platform to do so.
You gotta hope it is. I mean, if we're being fair to Bournemouth, if they could have got the ball on target, they probably would have won this game 6-0. Because every chance they had was going wide, going over. They weren't making the keeper work at all. And, I mean, we might as well just move forward to the first goal. Like, 2-2 from Semenyo. Very lucky from slip from Lauren in defence, but it's a very tidy finish from Semenyo. It's the first shot on target in the whole game, I think, as well. So it just shows...
Well, both teams only scored with their shot on target. They both had one shot on target, and they both got 1 goal each. But hey, you can now say Semenyo is a man in form. You were right. Mate. You just called it a week ahead of time.
Mate, psychic here. I know what's going on. I know what's happening. But
other than that, I thought David Brooks was really good. I think he is a quality player to watch. Like on his day, I think he's like really, really talented. But he definitely should have scored at least one of his 6 chances in this match.
That's it, isn't it? There's so many chances for Bournemouth, especially. Just think went completely begging in this game. But then Burnley, a bit of a smash and grab to get the point with a Bolger header, good cross from Edwards. I mean, you don't really rate Bolger at all. I mean, I don't either. But
I mean, this was his first Premier League goal for more than 2 years, so I think I'm pretty accurate in my non-rating of Brozier. And in this one, he just has to get like a slight touch on it. He's kind of like the striker version of Mavropanos.
That's so harsh, but probably true as well.
I mean, mostly just that they look quite alike, but also, yeah, I think it was a really nice, dangerous ball from Edwards, and it really just needed the slightest of touches from Brozier to just like, if he'd have got too much on it, then maybe the keeper saves it or something. So, or it goes over. He just needed to get like a really delicate touch, and yeah, first Premier League goal for more than 2 years. So props to him for breaking that duck.
Yeah, and you gotta hope maybe that kickstarts Burnley season again. That maybe they can pick up a few points now. But yeah, I guess the proof's going to be in the pudding. And then Bournemouth, I mean, in typical style of this game, Senesi sends one straight over the bar. They should probably be scoring with his head. Yeah.
I mean, Bournemouth had the chances to win this one. Burnley, different to some of the previous matches we've been talking about them, they didn't create that much in this one. Like, where previous weeks we've been saying, like, Burnley created quite a lot and didn't get a result out of the game. In this one, they kind of reverted back to, like, what we expected from them, like more like sit back and try and get a goal on the break or get a goal from a set piece kind of situation, but try and be more defensively solid. And it got them a result. So maybe they will be doing more of that going forward, trying to put less emphasis on having the ball and creating chances and more emphasis on going back to their defensive solidity.
Yeah, really nitty gritty. Burnley once again, maybe we'll be seeing moving forward. But yeah, I mean, good for them, like we say, stop the rot. Cool. Should move on to Everton-Arsenal, a game that I can't really be bothered to talk about. Another 1-0 to Arsenal, who really cares? Jake O'Brien makes an insane handball decision in this game.
What's he doing? Is he doing the YMCA? Like why is he like he's like doing like pretending to be a salmon? Like, what is he doing? Why is his hands so high in the air?
You can understand, yeah, if one hand's... Well, you can't really, but you can understand maybe one hand in the air, but there's no way you naturally jump with 2 hands, like, up next to each other, like you're volleyballing it back. Like it is insane.
Yeah, clear penalty. Like, of course, Arsenal tuck it away, absolutely smashed it in from Gyökeres, and then not much happened in this game, really. There was a Saliba challenge on Barry that people were saying possibly was a penalty. I think that one was a bit soft. I don't think it's a penalty. I think, like, yes, he does sort of slightly, like, there is contact, but too soft for me.
Yeah, I think both the Barry pen shouts weren't really a pen for me. I think one outside the box and one a bit too soft. I mean, I think Everton did frustrate Arsenal for long periods in this game, and Everton did the thing that they do against a lot of teams where they give up a lot of chances, but the ball just somehow doesn't go into the back of their net. But I feel like if Jacob O'Brien just doesn't give that pen away, this maybe probably ends 0-0 because, yeah, Arsenal just didn't look like they were going to score from open play, even though they hit the post twice, I think, and had a load of pressure on Everton. But Everton just seemed to have games where they get away with this, or they have games where they'll have like 6 put past them because of this. Do you know what I mean? We've talked about it before.
Yeah, so. I mean, this is just like Moyes set up against a top 6 team. He just went out there to frustrate them, and yeah, apart from O'Brien's complete brain fart where he thought he was Jordan Pickford, Everton probably get away from this with a point, because they did frustrate Arsenal. They were defensive to a man. Like Tarkowski has one that he kind of clears, not off the line, but just in front of it, sort of thing. But but they were still being cut open at times. Like there's times like Trossard had one that hits the post and he's just absolutely free. Like on another day, Arsenal probably could have put like 3-4 past Everton, but because they didn't, Everton probably count themselves slightly unlucky that they gave away such a silly penalty and gifted this one to Arsenal when they could have frustrated them and got away with a point. But yeah, not to be.
No, not to be at all. Cool. And let's move on to my favourite game of the weekend: City 3, West Ham 0. Do you want to?
So Brighton 0, Sunderland 0. I don't know how this one ended 0-0.
Do not even think about that. I mean, Haaland you're kind of his bunny, aren't you? He's got 10 goals against you now. Once he gets one early, game over for you, pretty much.
Yeah, I think his record against us and Wolves we're his like favourite teams to play against, and which is no surprise. We're generally quite shit, but both of us. But like, yeah, we just give him like this one was really frustrating because it's like 5 minutes in and he's just got the free header in the box. It's just so, for all 3 goals, the defending was so poor. Like it was just like they did so much like, right, we're going to be defensive, play on the counter, etc. And apart from those 3 chances, like quite often they were pretty good defensively. Like they were putting their bodies on the line. They were trying to like make the blocks and get the clearances, etc. But for all 3 of these, it was just complete, like someone's switched off completely for all 3 of them. And yeah, I mean there were plenty of other chances as well. City were comfortable in this one. It just went as expected, really. It wasn't as damaging a scoreline as either of us predicted, but it wasn't close at all.
No, I think Areola is probably a very good shot stopper, and he's kept you in the game from being like a lot higher scoring. It looked at the end, City were just breaking like for fun, but not really getting that goal. I think they've probably gone into second gear, haven't they? But I mean, there were times you had a good spell in the second half, like to start off. You getting a double save from Donnarumma. Bowen and Somerville are always looking busy throughout, but is that solely where your hopes are lying to getting out of this mess on Bowen and Somerville to create something, and the rest of your team to hopefully hold tight at the back?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, I guess I understand in this game why he's gone without Wilson, etc., trying to play on like with just your fastest players up top, sort of thing. But we've got Fulham next. I hope he kind of reverts back to what was working for us for a couple of weeks there, where we were playing Wilson, playing sort of like a 4-2-3-1 sort of thing. Somerville got injured after that spell, so didn't have like a natural left winger to play at that time. We definitely need January to come around and need some attacking reinforcements. It seems like Fulkrug is on his way to AC Milan on loan for the rest of the season, so hopefully that frees up some wages to bring someone in. But because we absolutely need it, but we also just, I mean, we need to sort out the defensive side of things, but as I say, we've played two teams in the top 3 in the last week. Before that, we had 2 draws. Yes, it's really unfortunate that this has come at the same time as Leeds picking up points, Forest picking up a couple of wins, etc. But as I say, there's 4 games in the next couple of weeks. Let's see what happens at the end of this, and see who we can bring in January. There's a gap now, but we're not completely cut adrift. things could change. Like, I have to look positively, given like we've just played Villa and City. Like, we were never going to get points out of those games, really.
Nah, 5 points at Christmas, you're done, mate. Might as well already plan for life. I'm only joking, it's nothing at Christmas period. The only thing is, like you say, this next 4 games are big, but if you look at the next 6, there's games that there's going to be a lot of pride for West Ham fans in that one, especially I'm thinking the Cup game against QPR at home and the Spurs game away. Those 2 are going to be big games for you guys as fans, aren't they? And if you're not getting anything out of those, or if you're coming out of them with 2 damaging defeats, do you think Nuno maybe gets asked a question? Is it too soon, or?
No, I don't think there'll be a question. I think even before those games, we've got Fulham, Brighton, Wolves, Forest. Like those, that is opportunity to pick up points. Like that, I'm not saying any of those games are easy, but you play Fulham, who in and out of form. Brighton away, maybe not as good as like we should have beaten them a couple of weeks ago. Wolves will probably be the team that they beat, but like that is still a point. Like there's still an opportunity to get points. Forest also like in and out of form sort of thing. These next 4 games are going to be absolutely massive for West Ham season.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun watching for me on this with this podcast. No, I'll be rooting for you, mate. It's only fun when we get to go to the games together. Cool. Anything else you want to touch on West Ham wise, or should we not talk about the 0-0 and put Brighton in the bin? Brighton and Sunderland in the bin.
Yeah, I don't know how that one ended 0-0, but yeah, we don't need to talk about it. I know you're thrilled not to talk about Brighton for a week.
Mate,
sorry, Brighton fans.
They usually lose. It's perfect. And
do they usually lose?
Well, but lowest on the table, I think about
For now.
Okay, should we move on to the games for the Christmas period?
Cool. So we got Boxing Day. Well, supposedly the Boxing Day fixtures, but all of them are being played on Saturday.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? That's the one thing I'd always look forward to, going to the Boxing Day game with my mum whenever it'd be at Selhurst. To be fair, we'd always get Bournemouth away on Boxing Day, so we never did that. But all the ones that have been Selhurst has always been a good laugh, even though I'm pretty sure we've lost 3-0 most of them. But yeah, cool. Let's start with the actual Boxing Day one then. United Newcastle at Old Trafford, 8 o'clock kickoff. It's a hard one for me. I'm going to go 1-1 for some reason.
Ooh. Yeah, I know Newcastle's away form is spotty, but I don't think Man United are that good. I think they've got quite a lot of injuries as well. So
yeah, that rat got injured.
He did. Yeah, he did. That rat. I'm going to go 2-1 Newcastle.
Then moving on to the Saturday games, 27th, early kickoff, Forest, City, 12:30. I think you're right. This has a Forest win written all over it, doesn't it? I'm going to go 2-0 Forest.
I'm going to back Forest in the hopes that I curse them. Sorry, Forest fans. I'm going to go 1-0 Forest and pray that I am completely wrong.
Cool. Then 3:30 kickoffs, starting with Arsenal, Brighton. I think this probably has a 1-0 Arsenal written all over it again, doesn't it, annoyingly? Well, not annoyingly, because I want Brighton to lose, but I just hate both these teams so much.
Yeah, should we just spend 10 minutes talking about this game next week, yeah?
No chance whatsoever.
I'm going to go Arsenal 2-1 in this one.
Easy, cool. Then Brentford, Bournemouth. Interesting game, actually, with Bournemouth on the slide and Brentford's home form. I could see there being goals in this. I don't know why. I feel like Jordan Henderson, Semenyo doing a bit of damage to each other. I'm going to go 3-3. I'm going to think it's going to be a really good one.
Oh, I'm going to go Desmond, 2-2.
Yeah, that does feel like goals, doesn't it? But yeah. Cool. Burnley, Everton. I don't think there's going to be many goals at this game. Might go for 0-0.
Complete opposite, yeah. I think I'm going to go 1-1.
Nice. It does feel like that. Liverpool, Wolves. Probably 3-0 Liverpool. Let's just not beat around the bush. I don't think Wolves are going to be able to do what they did at the Emirates at Anfield, because I think Liverpool just seemingly don't really have game plans going into games at the moment. It's just like throw our best players and hope something happens. That's coming from someone that doesn't really care or watch Liverpool that much, so I might get completely off. But fuck it, this is what you come for. My budget views on shit.
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-0 Liverpool. Sorry, Wolves.
Yeah, cool. And then the final 3 o'clock on West Ham Fulham. I'm going to go 2-2. I've got a feeling. I think it could be quite feisty at the London Stadium. It feels like this game is similar to the one a few years ago where Lookman did the Panenka straight into your keeper's arms. But you weren't down.
That was during the COVID. No, that was during the COVID season. We were all right in that season. But this. I think I'm going to go for a scrappy 2-1 win for West Ham, and that is mostly me praying.
Cool. Then the late kickoff 5:30 Chelsea Villa. I don't think Villa are going to keep going with the win here, but I don't think they'll lose. I'm going to go for a 1-1.
Yeah, I agree that I think this one ends in a draw. I'm going to back a double Desmond week 2-2.
Double Desmond, jeez. You need to calm down, mate. Cool. And then the Sunday games. Sunderland Leeds 2:00. I think I'm going to have to. I'm going for a Desmond in this one actually, because I think there'll be goals, but I think Leeds are a bit too resilient at the moment to be beaten by Sunderland. I think the fact that they're both in the Championship last season together, it might get dragged down to that type of level of game. Like we kind of see that, don't we? When there's teams that have played each other, they know how to nullify each other because they played each other more recently. So yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-2. I think.
Yeah, but not many of these Sunderland players were playing down there, and Sunderland have got such a good home record. I think they probably just edged this one 2-1.
Cool. Then the late kickoff for Palace Spurs. I'll be at that one. I'd be happy getting out this with a 0-0 if I'm being honest. I think we should be beating them. I think we should be beating them, but I just think our players are shot. We've got the League Cup game. I guess they will have a bit of a rest from that.
Would have been tonight, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they'll have a bit of a rest from that. We should be coming out of this with a 2-1, I think. But I've got a feeling we're going to really sink into ourselves this Christmas period. We're probably going to get knocked out of the cup, which I think is a good thing. I think we'll probably lose this 1-0. If I'm being honest, it's going to be one of those like atmospheres where it's like it's all gone to shit, blah 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 blah, and then we'll pick it up again like mid-January and everything will be rosy. But we'll still finish 12th.
God, you can't give me any favours. Just want someone. Can you not just batter Spurs for me at least? Like that doesn't even matter for the relegation battle. Like, well, I mean, it might if we pull them in the mire. But I think this is going to be a draw, 1-1.
Nice, cool. Okay, that's everything. And then we've got the midweek games next week. I'm not sure when we're going to be able to pod and record for you. We'll probably have a quick one in again like we did a couple of weeks ago, just because the fixtures are coming thick and fast. But yeah, otherwise, feel free to rate and review the podcast, tell your friends. Follow us on socials on Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, Reddit at Other14FC Podcast, or email in. Any content you can give us can help us out in this Christmas period, if I'm being brutally honest, because we need it. Otherwise, you're going to be listening to us talk the same shit over and over again. But yeah, email in at other14fcpodcast@gmail.com. But yeah, otherwise, Tom, I'll catch you again probably in under 5 days or something crazy.
See you soon, mate. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas. Bye.